oh yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Oh, yeah, just for me, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So happy to be walking. Happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Great Lot isn't, everybody. Great Lot isn't.
Well, yes, indeed.
Get your mats. Get your weights. Line up if you're walking wall to wall. Jump on your bike if you're biking. Get on your treadmill. Let's start this walk. Great Lot isn't under all the black clouds. I'm on my mat, right? I'm doing my stretch outs this morning. And I'm hearing something from the ground like a rumbling. And I'm like, wow, some kind of rain storming. But I'm bending these bones. I'm like, ooh, thunder. I'm like, whoop. I'm like, bending my legs and my knees. Bending my old toes back. Massaging the old foot, leg and stuff. And then I lay on my back because that's how I also do the crunches. So I'm like, is that rain? I didn't see Raw that morning because I wake up in the morning and I look for Raw. Isn't. You see all the time, and it's still there, but it's covered by dark clouds this morning. And then, so I'm hearing noise, I'm thinking it's rain. I'm like, okay, it's raining, it's a little loud, but I'm still doing my morning mat exercises. So I'm doing my push-ups, for my back and stuff like that. And I'm hearing stuff. Then I see a flash. I'm like, holy shit. I was trying to get the dogs out before the walk. I couldn't kick them out that door. When I opened that door, they saw that rain, and then of course on cue, a flash of lightning. They pretty much said, we ain't doing that. We pretty much said, we ain't doing that. Did I ever introduce myself? I just assumed, what you ain't supposed to do, that you know me, because I said, virtual walk with Vicky. And I figured you see only one person here and you say, oh, that's Vicky. But, whew, even to start, it takes 5 minutes of this walk for me to really get the groove in. Ooh. So, that's what's going on there. And y'all almost saw me with my bald head. I mean, it's growing back in kind of cute. But I sweat in my head. So I gotta have something on it. If not, I have nothing to catch all this water that rolls off from this wall. I know y'all look at me and say, oh, she's hardly moving. But after this walk, I have to peel these clothes off. Everything's wet from sweat, from this act. I don't know what muscles these is that go into like this. I think that's all part of the core thing. Well, I'm proud of it. I'm walking in my core. I'm squeezing my stomach. Did I ever tell you the story about me and Audrey? My bestest high school friend. She's the reason, one of the reasons, I stayed in South Carolina. She would say something, you can't leave me. The first time I went down south, I met Audrey. Yep. They called her Audrey, but the name is spelled Audrey. And when I left that summer, she said, please come back. She kept telling me how great it would be to go to high school, how wonderful it is, how we could go see the floats, we could go see the proms, the queens, and all that kind of stuff. She talked about the marching bands. She's the one that kind of sold me into this cult. But I should have said, I'll stay in New York with Muslim, Muslim madman, cult man. But Audrey was a very big woman. And she had graduated, got married, and she was pregnant. And I think she had a baby. And we were doing something. She kept saying, oh, my stomach's so big, my stomach's so big. So I said, Audrey, suck in your stomach. And she looked at me and she says, Vicki, I always suck in my stomach. I hold my stomach in all the time. And I was like, really? And she said, okay, I'll show you. And she released her core. And she just, and literally, there was a stomach there. Okay, let's put it like that. It got bigger. It got bigger. That's what it did. And then she sucked it back in. And I said, oh, wow, you do be holding in your stomach. But that meant she always moved in her core. And that's what I've been working on, along with not being hunched over, because I was hunched over as a child. I was hunched over as adolescent and teen. And it wasn't until, well, I lost some of my hunch as a teen when I started doing a lot of walking. And the minute I stopped walking, hunch came back. But that's why I did roller skating. And that's also why I hang. I remember when I go to gyms and I see those folks my age bent over looking at the floor. And that's why you see me walking. I'm so grateful to this body, my matter, that I said, listen, girlie, we got to do this. And you can stand upright and not bent looking at the ground. And I said, what it is, tell me what it is I got to do. This gravity is hunting me over. And I did it. And so that's why I stand upright. And that's why I'm happy to be walking. half happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Yes, indeed. Great isn't y'all. Whew. So we're confirmed for our first roller skate lesson, October 3rd. It's a Monday. Oh, I want everything to work out beautifully because I like to do roller skating starting off like 2 Mondays, because that's the only time they have the adult skate, 2 Mondays a month, because that's also goes to strengthening the back when I skate. You know, girl, I got my wristbands, elbow pads, and knee pads. Okay, my intent is to stay upright. And I skated for 2 years, not hitting that ice, okay? And as children, we had bikes, but we didn't ride them. We had skates. And we skated on those raggedy ass sidewalks in East New York, Brooklyn. We skated on the, I can't even tell you how we did it. When the weeds underneath would make the sidewalk come up like a peak, we worked it out. You get enough of it. That was our first jump and leap. But then, because we had skate key skates, inevitably, when you hit it, you'd go one way and the skate would go another. But I told you, my Aunt Lucy, she loved Empire State on Atlantic Avenue. I don't know if it's still there. I never saw the woman skate. But she took us there Saturday morning, stood in line several times, maybe even once a month. That was her thing. She also took us to see Stevie Wonder. Yep. So I was like going back to ice skating. But I was like, you're old. The cold is going to affect your bones. It just is. I know you have all that insulation. And the thing about ice skating is that when you start out, you know, it's a little cold, but once you get into it, you can literally sweat while ice skating. Even being in that refrigerator, you can sweat. So when I would see the kids in shorts and short sleeves on that ice, but they're racing around the wing, they're skating, and then you look over at them, and they're sweating from skating so much. So, I'm happy that we'll be skating. I forgot about gliding. When I went back to ice skating, that's the first time I connected as adult gliding. I have not put gliding and my life together because it was always in my head. I changed the thought, but it was like a struggle because I couldn't, I'm going to slide through this, I'm going to glide through this. But once I started ice skating, then the sliding and the guiding worked out. And I know what I'm going for. But what I really want to go for in the skating meet is when they get that groove down and you get in that line and everybody be doing that shuffle. That's what I want to do. And when we take that pool down in the garage, you don't need a lot of room. We can put some music on, me and my daughter and my friends, and we can get in there and we can learn how to do our own shuffle, our own grooves, moving back and forth on the skate. Getting down. Yeah, girl. I got plans. And then, of course, I'm supposed to get my first, I'm supposed to get my first assignment for my writing program. So that's it. Yeah, I'm excited about the roller skating. I really am. Yes, indeed, y'all. And I've been looking at a lot of YouTube videos. I like TikTok. TikTok is fast. TikTok is great. I love TikTok. Don't get me wrong. I just don't like all those scammers over there. My daughter said, oh, they don't scare me. I'm like, you're not an old woman. They're looking for a specific type. Me. I can't even read messages from nobody I liked or anything like that. All I get is a bunch of scammies in my message thing. And you block one and 10 come back. Everybody's working on an oil rig or trapped in some Mideast place and they just want to talk to me and they just love me. I don't even just look at my video. They're madly in love with me. And the people that I liked in their videos that I comment on, it would take so long for me to find their responses or whatever because I would have to weed through all the Romeos. Oh, I love you so much. And I would put stuff like, do you like wearing a dress? And believe it or not, some say, I wear a dress for you. I said, oh my Lord. No, we don't use that term no more. Oh my. I am my own Lord. Oh my. So something said, stick to YouTube. Stick to YouTube. The concept is totally different. It's a lot safer. You can do your videos. You can talk your talk. And you're protected. Stay with Facebook. You can do your videos. Talk your talk. But I'm protected. I don't see scammers. Maybe once in a while, I'll see one in my comment. But not generally. So, I'm good. Oh, I love you. I love your eyes. I was like, how you see my eyes in these glasses and all this lighting and stuff? But okay, Romeo. And then I think, who in the hell, but they're out there, desperate enough I said desperate enough to just fall for somebody that's feeding you a little bullshit. And maybe I'm different. Remember I was a bartender? They used to fall in love with me all the time. And wanted me to have their babies. And I said, you want another drink? And they said, oh, things are coming out of the war. Great Ryan's. I said, oh. I come over there and said, oh, every time I come over here and see you, I know you're the one for me. And I pick up that empty beer bottle and say, you want another drink? Oh, man. Like I tell you, I always gave out my phone number. I never lied. I never gave a fake one. I never gave a phony one. I could read the person that's asking me for my phone number. Some you put it, you don't write your name, you just write your number on the back of an empty matchbook. Never got a crank call. Never got to hang up anybody's phone and stuff. The ones that's really slick, you have them put it on a little piece of paper. And then you give it back to them and say, I can't wait for you to call. And they say, yeah, baby, I'm going to keep this number. And by the end of the night, I'm scraping the number off the bar and into the garbage. Hey, thanks for coming on the walk. I can't see who that is. Y'all are far away. But we getting ready to take our water break. I'm sweating. It is so humid. Yeah. And the ones that really, 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 really like me. But I knew how they were. They was like, stop me. I just tell how they leave their napkins on the bar and different things like that. So I would give it to them on a big piece of paper. And during the course of the night, along with that napkin they would ball up and put by their drink, my phone number. And I would take it and scrape it into the garbage. I never had any problems. I didn't get any calls. A lot of them never made it out of the bar with my phone number, though I gave it to them on a piece of paper the back of a matchbook. Oh, y'all see I'm sweating? It is humid. Though we just had almost a tornado, it's still humid. See? Oh, wet all over y'all. Yes, like, comment, share. Tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin. Whew. Yeah. We made it. I know this weather's all part of the process of fall and bringing the fruit. The earth feeding us. The earth is feeding us season here on the East Coast. Let me get some water, y'all. Whew. Oh, let me see. Hey, Diane. Thank you, Diane. You enjoy your day too.
I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company. Walking, yes indeed, I'm walking, oh yeah, just moving, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking, I'm walking. So happy to be walking, happy to be walking. Thank you for the company.
Ooh, wait, y'all. It is humid. I thought after that lightning striking tornado we had with all that rain and stuff, that it would cool down. But it's not cooled down. Hey Diane, hey Canada. Been with me, I guess about the second month that I started walking over a year and a half ago. Diane has been my support, and others, but she kind of show up. They'll just peek in. She show up and she said, "Rah rah, Vicky, keep going." Thanks. I'm sure there's other. I have subscribers. I think they're saying rah rah. Whew. I had to take a shower before I got into my clothes to come work out. And then after I finish working out, I gotta go back in the shower. And then I had a panic attack because I took my last 2 vitamin C's this morning. I don't know how I lost that a year and a half or more. So I gotta run out and get some. Yes. Oh. Oh yeah, there's another woman's march. Oh, we're talking politics though, y'all. Run, run, put your headsets on. I gave for porta potties for the woman's walk. And whatever else they want to use it for. Because I don't know, I had to put on my Facebook, no one's answered for me. Sometimes Deborah will answer it for me. Or Jocelyn, they'll answer for me, but maybe Smith. Okay, maybe Loretta. Hey Loretta, she's been with me too. Why is these GOPQ, Tea Party, conservative cult leaders, as they are because they're nasty, they're all Charles Manson, okay? Why is they under the ladies' panties? Why are they again talking about what her vagina can and cannot do? Why isn't anyone telling them they don't have that control? And the women who gave them that control, let me tell you why I can't look at sisters' wives. Any polygamist. Because you give the man a false sense of security. He thinks it's him. He thinks it's that dick. He thinks that he's a king because he has 6 pair of legs to go in between. Sometimes 8. Sometimes 10. You give him a false sense of security. He thinks that he can tell you what to do with your penis. With your so what he knows what he can do with his penis, but he's trying to tell you what you can do with your vagina. And he can't. Yeah, he went up there and cut all your wombs out, diagnosed all kind of diseases for your womb and your vagina, and you just went along with them, get along, because you have already been taught that the menstrual cycle is a curse. So anytime that he said, oh, we got to cut that whole womb out. And they said, what do you need it for anyway? You ain't of birthing age, and I need this as a number under my surgery thing so I can make more money. And you let them do it. I tell you, when's the last pap smear anything I had? I am 64, over 30 years. And the only reason why I was doing it then because they kept saying, you have to. And I kept saying, what? See, I took the enslavement period seriously, especially the health issues. I said to myself, I said, you got to have You got to throw your legs up there and let them men go in there and diagnose you. Everybody I know has been diagnosed out of a whole womb. Okay? Out of a whole womb. And then I'll never forget what my friend Martin, my transgender friend, she told me over 40 years ago. She says men are jealous because they can't have breasts. They don't have breasts. And they're jealous because they can't produce life. Everything about a woman, a man is jealous of. That's why there's a whole book saying you're a hoe. There's a whole book that says you're a hoe and says he is wise and killing and control and alpha male and all this kind of stuff. But there's a whole book that says how weak women are and how cursed they are. A whole book. And women take their sons to learn that book. I remember when I would be sitting in, not the Lutheran church, but definitely the Baptist church and that apostolic church I was in my teenage years. Hardly ever talked anything good about a woman. And I couldn't understand how after service I would feel so depressed. I couldn't understand. People say they went to the cult to find joy and stuff like that. I never saw it there. Mostly whores and the devil was talked about. How women don't listen. What's that woman, Ruth? She was told not to turn around. She was told not to do it. And she turned around and got turned into a pillow of salt. That's why you gotta listen to your husband. You gotta listen when a man tells you to do something. Ladies, y'all don't know. You don't know. I was like, wow. Because it's so easy for the devil to get into you. And I would say, wow. It's easy for the devil to get into a man, in a woman, than a man? How? Talked about my poor body so bad. The body is weak, but the soul is willing. They don't separate. My soul and my body, they work in tangent. They work together. They're in sync with one another. I just really couldn't understand it. We was dirty. It was filthy. I remember the first time when Sister Flat told me, we had this meeting. I don't know why they picked this funeral home to have this meeting at. And we just knew the address. We didn't know what the funeral home. So I picked Sister Flat up and we go over and I'm saying, why are they having this community meeting here? And Sister Flat says, oh no, that's a funeral place. And I'm like, okay. She said, I can't go in. I'm unclean. So I looked at her and I said, you smell good to me. What are you talking about? I don't smell nothing. Well, she laughs. She laughs at me when she says, when she shares her, was it black Israelite stuff with me? And she says, no, I'm on my menstrual cycle. And I can't walk into that funeral parlor. I think it was a Jewish funeral parlor. I can't walk into that funeral parlor because I have my menstrual cycle. And it's a curse. And I can't bring the curse into the funeral home. So, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I took her home. I went back. I couldn't understand it. That's not unclean. That's what we do to prepare for a baby. That's our body. How and so. That's what I have to say. Oh, I'm sorry, please. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I have to say that to myself, though I never did any big poo-paws like that. I'm cursed, I'm unclean, I can't go in there because I'm filthy, I'm dirty. What did you do? Have a menstrual cycle. What? I remember hearing that I think the African American community tried to pick it up from somewhere, that women shouldn't cook if they're on their menstrual cycle. They kind of stopped it because their asses were starving. Because I know if that was the rule of things, I knew I would, on and off, I know how to do that menstrual cycle. I would be bleeding on and off for a whole month. Everybody would fucking starve. But yeah, if a woman's on her menstrual cycle, she shouldn't cook. We will all starve as long as you don't cook. Because, and you wonder why babies come here like that. That mother been told all her life it was a curse. But when you get pregnant, do you know how happy you are? You know what every ounce of that blood is going to. Then all of a sudden you want to make sure you have vitamins in your blood. You want to make sure you have everything that's necessary to bring that baby to full term. And you understand what that menstrual cycle is for. And you fall in love with it. You say, yes, get that nutrients to my baby. That baby in that womb never looks at that blood that's coming through. Every month, flood it all in there. That big goosh of blood. The connection is there, so as a woman goes along, the whole circulatory thing comes through. But just like everything else, that infusion of blood. They say you stop having it. You don't stop having it. It just goes straight to the baby. So that's why I'm glad my mother never raised me believing that a menstrual cycle is a curse. And why I'm angry that I went down south to that Baptist cult down there, and those during the episode, I don't even want to say that, oppressive, oppressive cults, and oppressive Baptist cult religion. And they told me it was a curse. They told me I was cursed. Because if the act of bleeding is cursed, isn't the person bleeding is also cursed? How can you separate the two? You want to know why folks are depressed? You need to look at these cults. My daughter said, my mother never said that my menstrual cycle was there. I was like, ooh, you got your menstrual cycle, you so warm, and you are warm, and, and you got to be careful, and you got to do this. Then I told her sanitary things that she has to do to take care of herself, and different vitamins, and how you're going to feel. And when you have that baby, that's how you keep it alive. That's like an honor. You see it coming out. But when it stays inside that baby, it makes a whole human being. That is such an awesome thing. Oh man. Okay? It's an awesome thing. That's blood of life. Not a curse because a man can't hump you. They don't like all the blood and stuff. So they don't like sex while we're on our menstrual cycle. So that's why they book and stuff, and in their cults, they made sure to call it a curse. Because it's a curse to them because they don't like having sex. But if they're desperate enough, I mean, these are people that screw cows, pigs, dogs, snakes, and everything else. If there's a hole, they'll put their penis in it. So, let's keep that there. But for some reason, it's a curse because they don't want to do it. So the woman is cursed. And then you wonder why you're depressed. And why this, and why that. You don't realize you sit in church every Sunday and hear yourself be called cursed. For a natural act, a wonderful act of life, almost a miracle act. And had I not been in that cult, I would have had a better understanding of my menstrual cycle earlier. I would know what it does and appreciate the miracle of it, the mechanics of the body, the female body. But instead, in a male-dominated society, I was taught that I'm cursed because I have a menstrual cycle, because men don't like to screw when you're on your period. So it's a curse, and the woman is cursed, and you're cursed. Don't cook, don't go to church, don't go to funeral home, don't go anywhere. You cursed woman. And you take your kids to church, your male boys to church on Sunday, and you sit them down there, and you let them learn that. And the first thing they do when they get a chance, they don't come back, and you don't understand. It's hard for a boy to sit there in a church and hear his mama be called a whore, a loose woman, someone who doesn't have enough decisions, don't have enough brain power to make a decision. And you take him every Sunday. And then when you get old enough, he say, screw you, I'm not going. And you can't say anything because you're a woman, shut the hell up, I'm a man. I'm better than you. Didn't you take me to church every Sunday to learn that? You don't tell me what to do. Oh, he's so out of control. Oh, he doesn't listen. He listened. You took him to church every Sunday for 7 years so the pastor can say how much a whore you are, and how weak you are, and how without a man you're nothing. And then he gets to the point and he said, I don't want to sit there and hear you be berated like that. I'm not going. But since you taught me a game life, I'm going to hook up with these boys out here. The church cult or the game cult? I thought it was the Board of Education that was responsible for the cult. I mean, for the games and the kids. But it's not. Every Sunday he goes to a cult. That's a game. That's controlled by one man at a top, who has lieutenants. They call them deacons. Who hustle the money. There's no difference to them between going to church and being in a gang. It's the same thing. They degrade women. Thought it was Board of Education, but it wasn't. It's the cults. Teaching them from the womb. And I can't believe. What did someone tell me? Oh no, Vicky. See, Mary was a virgin who got pregnant by God. No, that's not the message. The message of women are whores. They will lay down next to their husband and sleep with another man, have his child, say she's a virgin and God made her pregnant. Why do men don't accept the fact when you say you're pregnant? Why? A lot of them, first thing they say is, it ain't mine. Why? Because it could have been a God that came down and screwed me? And he ain't a daddy? Because that's what we do. We celebrate that every Christmas. We celebrate a woman laying down with a God, right by her husband, getting pregnant, and saying she a virgin. You ever thought about how, during the holidays, how violent a lot of family get-togethers are? A lot of husband and wife fights because it brings it to the forefront. I put it together finally, but I stopped hanging out with them because it was a lot of you cheating on me fights over the Christmas holiday, and I couldn't understand what triggered it. Could it be Mary sleeping with a God while laying next to her husband? And the men, they don't see that. They see that Mary opened her legs to another man. Let's go 10. Neither up nor down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You ever looked at that? Why men say, oh, you're cheating, you're cheating, you're cheating. Oh, you're always cheating. Women always cheat. Well, of course, there's a book right there. We get ready to celebrate in December. A cheating woman. Don't matter whether you put a God into it, you throw a virgin in there, it's still a holiday of a cheating woman that basically had a bastard. Let's do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1 for good luck. And you wonder why there's so much domestic violence. You can't. When I was young, all the Quiet Street men and women, the first thing came out of his mouth was for cheating on me. I said, why would he think that? Well, he went to church every Sunday with a book. Christmas time come up. Like, comment, share, y'all. Thanks for coming on the walk. Yeah. Let's do this water. Whew. Why is there so much domestic violence and men killing women? Go back to the Bible, let's see. Made me live in fear. Ha! Had me choked, beaten, and incest because it was okay. It's what cults do. Okay. Y'all know I took just a little sip before. Oh, shoot. I don't want y'all to see what that is. Hold on. Very hard. Give me a minute. Okay, here we go. Okay. Thanks for coming on the walk. Please like, please comment. Let's throw this water back. What if a lot of your illness and stuff is due to the fact that you're dehydrated? Hydrate. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Yes, indeed. I'm walking. Just I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. Please subscribe. Thank you, subscribers. I know I probably have more likes, comments, shares, but I had Alzheimer's or cussing or fighting and stuff like that. I know I'm talking health as an African American old woman, and that is not the conversation that people want to have or hear. I'm also healthy. Trust me, ain't nobody running to this page. All black healthy women? No. No. That's not entertaining. I hope I'm encouraging. I used to see Nielsen, he would come on the walk. But I guess I'm a little boring. Hey, Rod's out. The dark clouds is going away. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin. Share. I can't wait to share my roller skating video with y'all. Yes. Thank you for the company. Yes, indeed, I'm walking. Yes, I'm walking. Thank you for the company. I'm walking. So Thanks for coming on the walk. Almost done, y'all. You too. Enough quarter bites to death. Like, comment, share, tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Have a wonderful day. Walk.